Hey, welcome back to Two Super Guys Trade Stocks. I am Dylan.
And I'm Vinny.
And we're going to take a look at what I would consider madness in the market. Not a lot of stuff making sense. We're going to take a look at this whole last week. There's a bunch of stuff that happened, bunch of earnings reports. This is not a deep dive. We're going to look at the chart and where I think it's going and why this makes no sense.
Two Stupid Guys Trade Stocks.
All right. I threw the Mad Hatter on here. I feel like it's appropriate.
We're in Wonderland. Is that what you're trying to say?
Madness. We're descending into madness. Close.
I love it.
I threw Stu from Hangover because he's like, what the hell is going on in the back of the car? It's great.
Just lost the entire time. Perfect.
Yes. Yeah, it's just super confused. Before we get into this, Michael Burry, we've already done a video, not going to, go crazy. He tweeted sell, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to show you how that messed with my psyche pretty big. But he then, so this is the tweet, and then he deleted his Twitter.
Yep, exactly. And the tweet before this too was that chart where it was kind of back in 2001 where it looked like we were heading for a massive sell-off is what he had used.
Yeah, so is this a deletion out of shame? Or is this a deletion out of he deletes his Twitter every 3 months and it's time? We don't know. But, let's look into some stuff here. Okay, so Google, about 14% of the SPY reported earnings this week. It was pretty wild. We're not going to do deep dives, but just to understand the actual technical analysis, here's a quick summary, right? Google did not meet revenue. They were a little bit low, not crazy. YouTube was actually kind of low. They were about 300 million off that one. Google Cloud, not terribly off. Just a, that's the wrong button. Yeah. Just a little bit off.
YouTube has been struggling for a little while with ad rates going down, and it's been pretty broad across the whole advertising sector. Everyone's been feeling that pain.
Yeah, it's nothing insane. They missed a little stuff, but this was a little bit alarming. This is the year-over-year percent change in quarterly revenue since 2018.
Yeah. Okay.
That look interesting?
Massive pandemic pull forward, and then they kind of drifted back towards that baseline. But it's not unique to them though. A lot of major tech companies are having similar struggles right now. So.
I agree, but not a lot of tech companies this big. Because there are other tech companies in this realm that do not have a cool looking slide graph where you could just step down and have a great time.
Perfect.
Amazon. Now, the reason why I look at these is they responded extremely differently to each other. Okay, Amazon did not have a good time. They had a little bit of the worst time of these companies that reported. Rivian is still haunting them. Okay. So basically, they're largely the reason for weaker than expected profits. If anyone has ever made a mistake in the market, I always say I made FUBO in 2021. Just remember, Amazon, a giant billion-dollar company, bought Rivian at the highest price you could. So don't feel bad about yourself. AWS, slightly low, not crazy. And first quarter guidance was hella low. Not good. All right.
Yeah. Very weak.
Let me move your face. So just real quick, Amazon sales 142 billion. This is just showing the revenue, the Rivian thing. Basically, Amazon lost 2.7 billion. This is for full year sales, including a 12.7 billion loss related to Rivian shares. It's just, what are you gonna do, man? Jeez.
Yeah. Unprofitable EV companies have fallen out of favor. Profitable ones have, however, been doing great this year.
That's true.
Yeah. Well, yeah, kind of.
Which one?
Tesla is kind of my joke there. That's what I was thinking.
Oh yeah, great this year. Down all right. Amazon Web Services. They were a little bit down, but the big thing here is they're decelerating from 27% growth in September. Okay. Once again, this is not unique to them. Microsoft's having the same issue. All right. But it is a big core aspect of their business. Now, here's where this gets interesting. Apple. Okay. iPhones decline 8% year over year. You can see all just the synopsis revenue. They're off by about $4 billion. Adjusted earnings a little bit slow. iPhone revenue off by 3 billion. Mac revenue off
Mm.
by 2 billion. iPad actually did quite well.
Yeah.
Wearables off by 3 billion. Services about in line. Okay?
Hmm.
That was a little bit surprising for how they ended up reacting. Now, we'll look at the chart, but they had a great day. On the earnings call, they have the reasons for their issues were a strong dollar, which is everybody,
Yeah.
continued
Everyone.
production issues in China, that's legitimate. They they've
Yeah.
had some problems, and macroeconomic issues. I don't know. Just look at what Intel says every quarter for like the last 10 years. They've been saying that one for a while.
Oh, it's too true. It hurts.
Sorry, Vinny.
All good.
So they popped. They were down about 3 to 4% after earnings, but then they had a great day, like a pretty what looked like unstoppable day. And a
Mm.
lot of people are saying it's because of what Morgan Stanley said and what other people were looking as. We believe Apple's ability to post the highest gross margin in a decade despite seeing revenue decline is impressive. Moving forward, only going to get better. And this is just them saying the underlying drivers of Apple's model remain robust, right?
Yeah.
It's Apple. They did
Yeah,
pretty well.
Apple even said, like, particularly some of their higher end products within the iPhone category that they could not meet demand with because of supply constraints. So they had a solid gross margin and they weren't even selling their top dollar stuff. That's why it's kind of interesting to me.
It is. This part was kind of interesting. They did offer data points. They don't ever go into like what they think is going to do, but they did
Yeah.
offer data points on performance expectations. They're expecting Mac and iPad sales both to decline double digits from the year earlier period, and iPhone to also decline from what it already had declined. I thought that was pretty interesting. Now, before we get into this, Meta, Vinny, can you do a brief synopsis on Meta?
So Meta had a fantastic day, up over 20%. Now their financials were like okay, but I think it was more the tone that was the major driver for becoming that. Because Mark Zuckerberg really has said that he is embracing efficiency and that he is not throwing caution to the wind and throwing the whole company YOLO on metaverse. He really is trying to drive profits and return money for shareholders. And finally, shareholders have started to believe him a little bit. That's why you saw that massive rally. In my opinion, it's more of a perception thing than it was the actual numbers from the business.
Got it. Okay, and it was big. We're gonna go over that. It was huge. Now, I'm not gonna lie. You can say that this is. If we never revisit these prices, then this is definitely my mistake for the year. You get one a year, right? Um, Burry tweeted out the sell thing, and I got a little bit nervous because I'm like, I have the same levels. I don't know about this. So I sold all my stuff this last week. Okay, except Baba. I ain't never selling Baba. That's
And Baba
funny
was the
right
one
now.
went down.
Yeah, but they went up so much. They needed to correct a little
I know,
bit.
I know.
They were up 100% in like 3 months. Um,
Yeah.
so I did sell Meta like an idiot at 153. That was a big mistake. Honestly, I had listened to Zuckerberg's earnings report last quarter. It was so bad. I just did not think that they were going to turn it around efficacy wise because they were putting
Yeah.
so much money. So I was like, I think we can get a little
Interesting.
bit worse out of this. AMD, we didn't go into it because they didn't have a bigger position in the SPY, but I sold it at like 50 cents below where it's at. Nvidia, I sold at 195. They're at 211. Okay. Now, if
Hurts.
we never revisit the prices, I'm gonna be sad. This is gonna be a problem.
Yeah.
I'm gonna show you this next, but it's possible we could be having a pivot downwards in the market. Not likely. Okay,
Okay.
but I also hate these because these are so stupid subjective.
Yeah. And well, that 410 level in the SPY was a big one we were really looking at, and it looks like we broke it. So,
We broke
uh,
it for sure.
yeah,
Yeah, this is me grasping at straws, baby.
I love it.
This is Peter Lynch. This is a story of my life if we never revisit these prices. All right? Dylan, why did you try to time the market? Because I'm one of the people that lose money trying to anticipate corrections. That's why.
Yep. Yep.
Let
Yeah.
me.
Yeah. I like to say lesson learned, but I have a feeling that I might repeat that same stupid mistake at some point in my future. But for the moment, it makes sense.
It really does. I also sold because it the market is not making rational, logical sense for how bad the economic problem is, in my opinion. And whenever that happens, I just want to leave. Like I don't like where this is going. If I miss out, fine. It is what it is. I'm young. I'll get back in at some other point, right?
Yeah.
Um, Here's the SPY. All right, so we had this big gap. Boom, we actually went up. I thought we were going to be screwed here, and we actually put in a spinning top right against my price, whereas my exit price. I did not cover my shorts because I wanted to see there's 12% of the SPY reporting. That's huge. So I figured, hey, I could cover them or I could lose another $200, whatever. So this was actually kind of interesting. It doesn't mean a lot that we're going to be going down, but one thing I wanted to show you, Apple. Stupid Apple. Look at this, dude. Jeez. They
Yeah.
they had gapped down, by the way, to here at one point after
Oh,
hours.
after hours. Yeah, yeah. I know. The initial numbers were not very promising. It's all in the sentiment, man. It's sentiment, and sentiment is positive right now. That's the thing that's hard to quantify.
It really, really is. Now, one thing give me hope. Google, you have these little hop ups, just went right below this 200 moving average. By the way, guys, if you're new to trading, this 200 moving average it's the sexiest thing on the planet. It's just so pretty. Amazon, you have a big pivot here going downwards. Meta, you just have depression. But we also have two spinning tops, kind of a big deal. Like I said, especially when you have that much volume thrown, it means that you have a lot of sellers pushing downwards. Okay?
Okay.
If you have a gap up like that and then you immediately come down on high volume, remember the stock on the Qs, for instance, this much volume is just going slowly grinding up between a battle of buyers and sellers. When you have this, it means there's a big battle, and all the way back down, okay, in the same day. So you moved almost twice the length on the actual volume. It's important to remember that. All right.
Yeah. Big
Now
old
where do
wick.
I? Huh?
Big old wick.
Big old wick. Where do I? I just realized what that sounds like. Yeah, great. Sorry, guys. I just had my daughter was born like 20 hours ago. No, 48 hours ago. So I'm very tired. I haven't slept yet. Um, which, by the way, I will not be timing the market in her account. That's going to be important. Yeah, we're going to do a video on that.
Yeah, we're gonna hold you to that one. Okay.
Now it matters to me. All right, nah, long call options for days. All right, guys, let me know what you guys think. This is a very, very weird week. I really truly don't know where we stand. Vinny, where are we going from here? Do you know?
Yeah, is the breakout for real? That's what it is. I just, yeah, basically from a technical standpoint, I have to kind of believe it, but have I put all my money back in? No.
I took money out, man.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
took like
got medical bills.
20K out. All right, guys. Stay
Yeah.
safe. Have a good one.
Get to the next one.